Reducible complexity last time with the mousetrap, and then we saw some different video clips on the cell again. So let's talk about information. Where does it come from? This is what we've been talking about. The DNA, and that's deoxyribonucleic acid. And then, of course, there's RNA. You may have heard of that, but it's a little separate gizmo in there. But DNA, and this is it. And this is the individual codes. And a group of these will code for a particular amino acid. And on the video I was trying to show you, it showed like the little carrier molecules that hook up to those. And they interface with those, and they're carrying the amino acid on it. And then those amino acids combine together, and then the carrier molecule or carrier enzyme goes away. And so that's how we build our long chains, and finally they become, whatever the cell is asking for at that time. So that contains 3 billion characters, A and T grouped together, and C and G grouped together. So if we went back to this picture, you would see the T and the A, they group together. So you either remember this from biology or you don't, and you hated it then, and you don't.
They didn't know about
it. So groups of characters code for a specific amino acid. No two codes can be alike or similar, so similar that they can be confusable, right? There are some similar codes that can code for the same amino acid, but they're not confusable, so our cell knows what amino acid to put there, because you wouldn't want it to be all of a sudden it starts making a protein different and you can't see that, or you can't digest food, or whatever problems would become of that if you lost a particular enzyme. Amino acids are brought together with carriers. So DNA is actually a two-dimensional object code for a three-dimensional object. So it's two-dimensional code for a three-dimensional object, which is pretty mind-boggling to me. Someone going to say?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
This is all new to her.
Oh, okay.
We lost it in cricket meeting until 7.
DNA has a structure that is ideal for carrying information. In the A's, T's, C's, and G's, the bases of the double helix of DNA, is the potential for storing a tremendous amount of information.
There is, in fact, no entity in the known universe that stores and processes more information more efficiently than the DNA molecule. A full complement of human DNA has 3 billion individual characters. Analysis of DNA molecules' coding regions show that its chemical characters have a specific arrangement that allows them to convey detailed instructions or information, much like letters in a meaningful sentence or binary digits in a computer code.
Bill Gates has said that DNA is like a computer program, only much more complex than any we've been able to devise. And if you reflect on that even for a minute, it's a highly suggestive observation, because we know that Bill Gates does not employ wind and erosion or random number generators to generate his software. Instead, he employs intelligent engineers, software engineers. And so everything we know in our experience suggests that information-rich systems arise from intelligent design. But what do we make of the fact that there is information in life, in every living cell of every living organism? That's the fundamental mystery. Where does that information come from? It's part of our knowledge base that intelligent agents can produce information-rich systems. So the argument is not based on what we don't know, but it's based on what we do know about the cause and effect structure of the world. We know at present there is no naturalistic explanation, no natural cause that produces information. Not natural selection, not self-organizational processes, not pure chance. But we do know of a cause which is capable of producing information, and that is intelligence. So when people infer design from the presence of information in DNA, they're effectively making what's called in the historical sciences an inference to the best explanation. So when we find an information-rich system in the cell, in the DNA molecule specifically, we can infer that an intelligence played a role in the origin of that system, even if we weren't there to observe the system coming into existence.
To me, the great promise of design is it gives us a new tool and explanation that belongs in the toolkit of science. Intelligent causes are real, they leave evidence of their existence, and a healthy science is a science that seeks the truth and lets the evidence speak for itself.
The argument for intelligent design is based on observation of the facts. Now that's my definition of good science. It's observation of the facts. Now when you observe the facts, as Michael Behe has done, what do you observe? You observe this incredible pattern of interrelated complexity.
And the way we conclude intelligent design for the bacterial flagellum is the same way we conclude intelligent design for an outboard motor. When we see an outboard motor, we see the way the parts interact and so on. We know somebody made that. The reasoning is the same for biological machines. So the idea of intelligent design is a completely scientific one. Certainly it might have religious implications, but it does not depend on religious premises.
When I look at the evidence objectively, without ruling out the possibility of design, design just leaps up as the most likely explanation. And that's why I believe that it's true.
So it's a powerful idea that the universe is rational and comprehensible, underwritten by a supreme intelligence that meant for this world to be understood, is something that underwrites then the program of science, because then you can go out and look at the world and the world will make sense. If it's all just a chaotic assemblage, there's no reason to expect any rationality out there. But if it in fact is the product of a mind, then you can go out and science becomes this enormous, wonderful puzzle-solving project in which you can expect to find rationality and beauty and comprehensibility right at the foundation of things.